Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to build something really exciting and super useful for conducting technical interviews, a live coding editor. Whether you are an interviewer looking for a better way to assess candidates or a candidate who wants to practice coding interviews with others. So this tool is going to provide a smooth real-time collaboration experience. But here's the twist. Unlike most live code editors out there, this will be simple and focused purely on live code editing. No need to worry about running code or test cases. This is purely about seeing how candidate thinks and writes code in real time. It is kind of taking a test on paper, so that will just gives us the idea of how candidate thinks about the code. So that is what we are trying to build today, and we will be using Node.js, React, and Socket.io to create a real-time collaborative editor, whereas multiple people can share the same coding space, all happening live. You will be able to create rooms, share a unique link with interviewee, and collaborate seamlessly no matter where you are. So let's dive right into it. So let's first create a project. I'll go to my directory and just create a new project. Okay, VIR, maybe interview, and I'll then cd into it. Yes. So first I'll create the server APIs and everything, and then we will integrate that on our React application. We have already done this much. Let's initiate a project. I'll initiate it with pnpm. You can use npm or yarn, and then I'll also open this in my editor. Okay. So we have our project ready. Let's create our index.js, and also here I'll give this type of module so that I can use import statements and all. So that is why I have given this, and not status, yeah, start. I'll give it as dev, and here I will add a node mon. So we have already have added a main with index.js, so it will run this index.js automatically. Okay, so we don't have to specify the file name because we have already given here. Now let's go ahead and install some packages, which is for express, and we need socket.io. We also need body parser because we will have to create a room. So we actually don't need body parser because we will not take any input from user, so we'll just keep it as it is. We'll try to keep it as simple as it is, so that we will more focus on the required things, not on the extra things. Okay, so this is up, and also I will use mongoose because we have to save it on database. So okay, so let's do that. So okay, so packages are installed, and now let's add let's start with the product, and we'll just import express, and also I have installed cors. Yeah, I've also installed cors package, so that I can be able to get that and get cors enabled, because I have to call APIs from browser, and with Postman it will work, but for the browsers it won't. So I have to enable cors options. So that is cross origin request, so I have to enable that. So that is why I have already I have installed that as well. Now let's initialize an app and give it, assign the express, and now I'll just add my middleware, and that middleware would be cors. Okay, I will also enable add one API, request and response, and then I'll just return a simple server, or maybe server health, so I could just check if that API is working or not. Server is running, so I think this is pretty much okay. And now I'll add my server listening. So for that also I have to initialize port, so let's do that. this will come up from env file, but if not, then we will use 4200. Okay, now let's pass this. So to create a server, we have to pass the port number on the listen function, and then we can actually do that. Start the server to the desired port, and now I'll just pass normal string server started at port. Okay, I think this is okay. Let's try to run this, and then we will check if it is running or not, and then we can move ahead. Let's do this. Okay, so server is running. Nice. So our server is running. We have done this, and now one thing we have to do is actually for socket we have to create a HTTP server with our HTTP module. So for that we will have a slight change here. We will import create server, which is in our HTTP module, and HTTP module is a native Node module, so we don't have to import any extra library for this. And I'll just do this. I'll take this up. Okay, and now I'll maybe use this with server, and this will be from my create server. I think this is okay. Yeah, and now what I have to do is I have to assign my assign IO with this. So let's do that also. What I'm thinking is I will maybe create another file, socket.js, and I'll use this here. Okay, I'll take this from there. I'll use it here. I'll create it here. Just remove this. Okay, now I'll create my socket connection, and all the socket related functions would be in here, and I'll export it in the index.js, and I think then it should work. Let's try this. I haven't tried this way, but I'll let's do this and let's see how this work. Okay, so now for creating socket server, we have to import server from socket. Okay, and now I'll just assign this to IO, and we have to create a new server. New server will expect a server which we have created with HTTP. Okay, and also as we are going to connect this with our browser web application which will run on browser, so we have to enable CORS options. So I'll just give this origin as asterisk for now. Like for this application, we'll give this as asterisk, so we'll accept all the every connection, so that will be there. If but when we go ahead on production, it is not advised to use open our application for every connection. We have to specify the URL or domain for accepting the request. So that is why. But for localhost and for development only, we'll use this. So this will not going to be a problem. Okay, and now what I'll do is I have to just export the server. I'll export it as default. Okay, now here we will add our socket functions. Okay, so this will be our to do. Let's just see our app is working fine or not. Let's import server from not this socket.js. Let's give this. Okay, and now I will have to replace this app with server, because now our application will run on this server and we have to accept connections for with this server. So that is why I will add this. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is fine. So I have assigned this as well. So I have not done this way. So this is kind of learning option for me as well. So we all will learn together, and we'll console log, and let's log user connected. And we will get a socket ID for every connection. We get socket ID, where we can use that to create rooms and create the connections. So this is how we'll gonna do this. Okay, so first thing is we have to join to specific room. We have to join, we have to make users join in this room. So whichever room is created, so user should be only be joining that room. So let's use this socket dot on is the event name, where we can provide the event, where we can listen to the event. So this will be our event join room. I'll name all my events kebab case. So that is how I like to keep my event names and all that like this. Okay, now I have my I'll get a room ID from the socket connection. So we will send the room ID, and that's how we will be using it. So let's do one thing. Let's add a console log, where we will log it as user socket ID joined room ID is room ID. Sorry, mistake. Okay, and then we will let this user join this room ID. Perfect. So this is how this is what we have to do here. This is only for our checking purpose. So nothing to nothing very fancy here. It's just to let user join the room. Second is we have to actually check where check the event of the code changes. So whenever user changes the code, we have to send that to the connected users, right? So let's add that. Code change event. Now let's do this. Okay, and I'll name this as editor change, or maybe code change. So here we can actually destructure, and we can have an object of, like, we'll get the room ID from the UI, and also the content which we want to send, right? So this is what we will get. So we'll accept room ID and content. So content will be the code ID, code which is changed on the UI. So that will be there. Okay, now we have to send this broadcast this code changes to the other user as well. So all the connections in the socket which are connected in this room, we have to broadcast this as an event, right? So now what we will do is we will update it here. We will send this from here. So socket.to is the function which we want to use it here. So this will be this room ID. Also, if you want to send it to multiple rooms, you can obviously chain this 2.2.2 for adding another rooms as well. So this is how we can do for multiple rooms. Also, I think you can add it as a separate single add it as a array. Okay, now we want to emit the values, emit a new event, right? So let's do that, and this will be update maybe update code, because we have to update the code on the other side. So let's do that. Okay, so this is what we have. So we have received the code in this event. Okay, we have received the code and we have sent that code with this event to the complete all the participants in the room. We have sent that, right? So this is how we will be doing this. And after that, we also have to handle the disconnection. Oh, sorry, I have just, let's add that. And now socket dot on, again this will be for disconnect. So here actually we don't have anything to do. It will automatically remove that user from the socket. But again, we'll just console log here because we have to do some database operations. So we will keep this now. Okay. And we will come back to this function once we integrate this socket on our UI. So we will integrate that. Okay. So I think this is fine. Yeah, we'll get socket ID here from this, so we are good to go. Okay, so now we have this, we have our server ready. I think we might need to, for getting the APIs, we might need to change this. We might need to add an app listen also, but first let's see if we can handle it with the server socket server HTTP server only. If not, then we will add that also. Okay, so let's restart our server. It's already done, but let's do that. Let's do that once more. Okay, now, okay, perfect. Let's see this API. So this actually does not work because this is now running on WebSockets. It will be checking the WebSocket, so that is why it is not running. Let's add an app dot listen as well. So we'll do the same thing actually. So let's copy this, okay, and change this to app. Now I think it should actually run. Okay, my socket, and this can't be done. This can't be done. So for socket, let's add another port. OD300. And let's pass this here, right? And let's do this API server and socket server. So this will be it. Fine. Okay, so this is actually taking that socket port we have to pass, right? So 4200 is our API server and 4300 is our socket server. So let's check this API first. Is this running? Yes, this is running perfect. So this is running perfect. Let's do one thing. Let's now also check for the socket. So I'll just check that on my Postman, and then we will go ahead and we will maybe use it with our server. Once we integrate that, we will check there also. So let's create a new API, and this will be from socket.io. Our URL would be localhost 4300. Okay, now we have to pass the event, and let's first see the connection. Let's connect. So we have got connected, socket is connected. Okay, let's see here, a user is connected. So this is fine. This is what we wanted, right? So we wanted our user, we have logged it here. When any user when any new connection is done, this is to do, we can remove any new connection, we are logging it here. Okay, so we have this, and other all these functions we will check. If I disconnect now, this should also run. So let's check this, and this we will integrate with the app, and then we will see. So if I just disconnect it from here, okay, so this should have logged the user on the disconnect. Oh, sorry. That was again a connect. That was not a disconnect. So now it is disconnected. I have got this as disconnect. Okay. Now let's see user disconnected. So this is good. So we have already disconnected our user. Perfect. So we are good for the backend till now. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Now let's do this. Now let's add a React application. So let's create with Vite npm create Vite, and I'll name it as client. I'll use React. I'll use JavaScript. Perfect. I'll go ahead and client npm install. And I'll do one change in the code for client. I'll just change the port number. It actually runs in a default 15173 port, which I don't like. I'll run it in 3000. So now if I run this, yes, so my port is changed and I can run my application in 3000. So okay, my React app is ready. Okay, so let's do one thing now. We have to create a room, right? We have to uh, create a room and generate a link. So that is what we wanted. So let's create an API first, and then we will go ahead and we'll just do the client altogether. So let's come up here, import mongoose from mongoose. Okay, and all after all this, I have to do my connection, or maybe I'll create it as a separate file and I'll create it as a help function over here. So let's do this. I'm thinking of creating it uh, in a directory. Maybe that will be a better choice, or not. Let's do this. Lib inside lib my this will be my db.js, and here I'll use mongoose. Okay, and maybe I'll import it like this, and then I have to do my mongoose connection. So I'll name it as connect to database. I'll get db url from process.env, db url if not found, MongoDB localhost 27107 is the port number for MongoDB. So this is the port number for MongoDB. Okay, and also again we have to specify the name. Database name we can actually give in the connection function also, or we can just pass it from here. So let's not do that. Let's give it from here. I'll use try catch, or then let's do that then, and let's do try catch. Need to do this. Oh wait, mongoose dot connect db url. Okay, now option, I have to pass db name. Db name would be interview. Okay, and I'll do this buffer command. This is okay, and here I'll just simply log the error. connection error. Okay, so this is fine. I think this will be good. Now let's import this. Import this from my lib folder. Sorry, lib and db. So this is what we are doing. Also take socket in lib. Okay, so this will be much better now. Yeah, this is much better. Let's do the connection after our app connected to database. So this will actually run this my server. So this once the server is ready, database will also be connected. Or maybe I could do something here. So once my server is ready, once my server is started, then only I'll run my database connection. This will be much better. So my database is connected and then I can use it. So now I have to create a schema. Okay, so let's do that. Let's actually we have just a interview, right? So we'll just follow a feature module kind of setup here. So I'll maybe create a module folder. Okay, and inside that interview. Okay, inside my interview I will have my schema.js, import mongoose. I need schema and then I need model. I think this is it. I need this much. Schema and new schema. Okay, but we have to create a room, right? So I think this is good. Yeah, interview schema would be good. So let's create our room first. So room ID, and room ID would be string, and this will be required. Okay, let's add a timestamp. So passing this option timestamps true, this what it does is that this actually adds created at and updated at automatically, and also whenever we update any record, it handles the updated at date, so we don't have to do that manually. So created and updated record of the dates are actually handled automatically by Mongoose. So that is this is a great option I find here. Okay, now maybe code. Yeah, code would be good. This will be of type string. This is actually not required because at first we will just have to create our room, right? Code is required, or maybe code is required, but we can have null or falsy value when for the code. So we can actually use sparse for that, or maybe we can just for the simplicity just remove this, which for just yeah, for the sake of simplicity we just remove this and we'll just handle this. Okay, so I think this is good. And room ID, yeah, from room ID we will create the link, so we don't have to worry about creating any separate links or everything. So we'll just take room ID and then we just take code. So I think that is okay. We are not handling any fancy things like managing the authentication and then targeting to the user and everything, so we don't have to worry about that. And now we have to create, or maybe just export default model interview, and this will have the interview schema. So this is okay. We have our schema here. Now let's create a route controller. First let's create the controller. Export, create room. Okay, so what this will do is create room. We will not take any room ID from the user. Once the user has created a room, so we will just maybe assign a separate ID and a unique ID for that. We will create that unique ID and we will assign it automatically. We might take room name. Yes, this we can take from the user. So this will be of type string. This room name, what it does is, let's say I have an interview with John, so I can name that as interview with John, so I can easily identify that. So this will act for that. Okay, so here we will get request and response, obviously, and then async. This will be an async function. Okay, now let's take the name, or maybe a room name, from request.body.name. So for accepting JSON, we have to add a package for body parser. So let's do that. Like initially I have decided not to add it, but now I think I should add, because I will be taking this. So let's do that, and then we will go ahead. Run dev. Okay, let's come to index, import body parser. Perfect. Add that as middleware, body parser.json. Okay, so this will enable JSON in body, so we can easily extract that. So this will be our name. From user, we will accept it as name. That is not to worry. So now let's now we have to create a room ID. And for room ID, we will use crypto from Node crypto. Yeah. So now we can use crypto, and we will use random bytes, and maybe I'll assign a length. Okay. Fix. To string x, then I'll. So this way we can create our crypto room ID. Okay. Now let's add set up the interview. This will be, I have to import that schema. Okay. So now let's do room name and room ID. So this is it, and then wait. New interview dot, now this, save. So now we will get the user ID and the detail. So let's just return this as res.status and res.status, and then we can directly send this, or maybe I can just pass a room created. Okay, so we don't need to assign it to anything. Let's add a try catch. So inside try catch, I'll just maybe return something. Status I can keep 500 and send the error dot message. So this is okay. We have created the room. Now let's add a function where we can get the list of room. Get room list async, and now I can actually take request response, and now it will be just very simple. And again, I'll just copy this. If I don't have, if then any error, we'll just send this, and now we'll just wait, take rooms, or maybe interviews, await interview dot find. I'll use lean function, that it will be easy for getting the values. Valid number. Actually, I don't need any filter, so I'll just return this. Okay, this will return all the values, and now 200 and send interviews. This will be returned. Okay, perfect. Same way, I have to get a room by ID. Room by ID also we need, and we need that so that we can get the information for that particular room. Okay, so let's do that. Let's add we will actually get an ID by on the parameter, so let's add that request dot params dot id. We'll get it from here, and now we will find by ID. We'll pass the ID here, and this will not be interviews, it will just be interview. Perfect. If in case we don't have the interview, we'll return 404 and return a message not found. So interview not found. Simple. So we have our almost this APIs are ready, and now we'll use our create a route for this route.js. Let's import all the functions from our controller. Okay, create room, get room list, and get room by ID. Also, we have to use our router, so let's add that. We can actually destructure, and we can. So if you have seen my previous videos, I like to keep imports like this, so I've just modified that, and now I will get a router, and this will be our router function. Now router would be router.route. Let's add it for, let's give this room or interview is good. Okay, so post method will have our create room function. Actually, this will not be here. we will actually assign this route on the index.js, and for this module it will be slash, and then we will have our slash id. Okay, so we will have our colon id, and here we have get function, and get would be get room by id, and then again we have to export this as a default, import interview routes, and then we can just go inside modules and interview, and we will import our route. Now let's do that here. App dot app.use we will use. Why? Because we have to assign this to all the methods, so that is why we will use use method, and now we will just pass this as is. So our interview routes will be assigned to app.use. So this route, it will be assigned. Okay, so I think this is okay. This is fine. And one more thing I'm thinking of, like I could actually remove this and maybe do the socket thing in direct here, in here only. So I could actually let's create this in function. Let's see how if we can do this. So this could actually run in the same port. So that will be much better, right? Let's do that and create not create server, because we already have a create server function there. Let's do init server, and this will take app. Okay, app as a parameter. Now let's go ahead, take this over here, remove this, we don't need that, and on here I'll pass my app. I think this way my application or the app which I have created with Express can be binded to this. Okay, so let's do this, and also take this server, server, or let's leave this as is. In its socket we will pass it as we'll pass the server. Let's take this out, let's take this here. Okay, we will use it from here, server will be there. Okay, and we will pass port, not the socket port, we will not have a different port. Okay, and then I have to initialize my socket. Okay, so I'll do this with this, and I'll pass the server in the socket. Let's just remove this. I have this server which is already passed over here. I'll just remove the create server, I don't need that now. Okay, so server is here, and all the socket related thing would be here. So init socket will have my initialization, all the connections and everything over here. My server will have I have created an app, and I have created this with HTTP server. I have passed my app, all this will be inside app, and my server now, because this have the Express server also, now this will run, and this will run on the port. So let's see if this works. So let's see if this works. Then we have to do this separate here, so we don't have to do that now. So first see, let's check if this is working or not. Let's run dev. No, server has already been declared. Okay, very nice. Let's see where server is declared. I'll just remove this. I did it only once, right? So my server is only once. Yeah, this is okay. This is socket server is started. Let's see if I can actually go ahead and make a request to the 4200. Yes, this is working. So that was a mistake where I have created separate servers, which is I can actually bind with create server with I can bind it with HTTP server, and this could actually work. So now for the database, let's do it here. I think this will be perfect. My server would be started. I'll just remove this server started. I remove this, and this has something. No. Once that is started, DB connected. Let's log this so we could actually know like my DB is connected or not. The server has started, but the database not connected, I guess. Why is it so? I don't have any error also. Maybe it is because of this async, and I don't have any edit. Yeah, I got an error. I got an error of Mongo's connection. Okay, I'll just check my connection string. So this should be of, oh, sorry, the port number was not correct. So 27017. This is the correct port number. Let's restart. Okay, so it's restarted and database is also connected. So I'll just bring my MongoDB compass here. This is where my localhost, and I have an interview, and interviews perfect. Now let's create a React application and let's start there. So first I'll just add something. I'll add ShadCN so that I can easily scaffold. We can do that here. Installation with Vite. This already done. Let's do this. Let's do this. pnpm add Tailwind. Meanwhile, I'll copy this. Let's run this. Perfect. Now let's take the T. Okay, I think we need to add a JS config file. Let's add that inside our client. Our API is done. Read, not read. We have to create a JS config file. JS config.json, and here we will have compiler options inside this. Oh, sorry, it is already given with compiler options. So this is perfect. I'll close all. Let's go back. Let's come up here. This is again for TS config. Okay, I've done that, right? I don't have to do that again. I'm not using TS, so no need to do this, but need to do this. Need to actually take everything and go to React.js, pass this, and done. Come back up, ShadCN with this. Let's install. Meanwhile, I have to, okay, no Tailwind config. Why? It is already there. Tailwind config is here already. Let's see if I have missed any step. No, right? It is for ts config. Why is it not working? Validating ts Tailwind CSS. I haven't. Oh, sorry. I have not installed Tailwind CSS. I have. I have. This is already there. I've already installed it. And framework. Let's see. Did this. We did this. Okay. We need to update this config. Let's do that. Tailwind config content updated. Then okay, index.css we have to update. Index.css we don't have. We will have here. We'll update that. Okay, I think it is pretty much up. Now let's run this. Yeah, it worked. Okay, so it was looking for the CSS. That is why. Okay, so I'll just keep it in default. All the things are done. Okay, nice. So ShadCN is already done. Now what we need one input for name and then button. We might need some card or something. So let's add some of the components from ShadCN. Okay, so let's maybe add a alert button. Obviously we need card. We might need form. We don't need now. Input and label I'll take. Sonar also I'll take. And what else? Text area, no. Fine. This is good. So we have added all the components. Let's go back. Okay. The Tailwind config is updated. And next.css is it? Yes. Let's check. Let's remove these. Remove these. So all the basic default configuration we have removed it, and we'll have Tailwind config. App.js, app CSS I don't need. I'll just remove that. And I know we might get into issue. Remove this. Remove all of this. Perfect. Let's check. Okay, not running. I haven't run. Yeah. npm run dev. Yep. Perfect. So my app is running now. So let's do one thing. Let's come up here and let's maybe wrap this inside a main, and I'll give this, because I don't have any header and everything, so I'll just keep it simple. Okay, I will give that as a container. That's it. I don't need anything more. I will now, for routing, we need a route, right? We need to add actually add the page and add the route. So let's add a routing. We will use stack router. This actually has some good options, like we can use the file based routing and all. So I'll use this, and let's install it. Let's install this. Stop the server, add this, and I need to take some configurations from there. I will maybe do a quick start. Installation is done. Okay, I have to do this. Let's do this. Installed vite config, and I think here I have to pass this router. Yeah, in the plugins I have already passed it. Vite plugin React. Okay, so that is for Vite React. We don't have to worry about that. Now let's add a route. Root route. src under root. We have to add a folder. Root dot okay, routes. It should be renamed as routes, not root. Routes. Under that we have routes. Okay, now we have to create our file router. So let's create the file router. I don't need this router. Instead of root route, okay, let's go back to code. Here what we need to do is we need to import two things from stack router and stack React router. We need outlet, and we need create root route with context. Actually we don't need with context, so we can just create with route, create root route. We don't need that actually. Okay, so we don't need to send any context, so I don't need that. I'll create a root route. Okay, fine. Create root route. Here I have to give the component, so I'll just create a root component first. Let's just create a normal function. I'll simply return an outlet. So whatever root is defined, it will just take it directly, so we don't have to worry about that. Perfect. This is a very simple simple implementation of this. Okay. Also I will add a not found component. I will maybe just duplicate it and will have a not found component. Here I will just not found, and that's it. I'm not getting into much more details, so it's just for our safety. So I have this, so I have a not found component as well. And perfect. Now I have to actually go to our main.tsx, and then I have to do some changes in our main file. So let's go back here. Okay, and we have to actually do this. So first import route provider. First we need to uh, pass our route provider in our main.tsx. Let's do this. Okay, now I have to get these. So this route actually generates the route, right? So we have to take that. And regardless if you're using routing package, manually running this, commands can from the package will generate. Okay, So this we have to generate. So let's generate that once. And how can we do that? We can do this tsr generate. Let's run this command. Let's see if this works. It's tsr generate. I think for first time we have to do this. Okay, this not work. Let's run this. I think it should actually generate it. Not working. Why? Cannot find package. Wheat config is giving us wheat config. What is not installed? Why is it not installed? So when while doing this, okay, yes, this is not actually installed. I don't need a dev tool. I'll just need this. I'll just install this. Now if I run, yeah, this generate the route. I should see a file named route tree. Yeah, so route tree is already there, and this will actually generate every time when we run the file and create any route also. It will run it, so we don't have to worry about that. So now we have our route tree passed to create route. So this will actually take care of it. You don't have to worry about that. Now let's do that is I have to pass this, I mean wrap this. Let's remove this main from here. We don't need it here. We have to wrap our app inside a route provider, and then we have to pass the router which we have created just now. So we have created it here. That is what we have to pass through this. So perfect. Why is this error? I already have a new router instance. Okay, so this is okay. We can avoid that. Now let's do something. Now let us add inside our route. Let us add an index.jsx. Okay. In my index.jsx, I like I've told, like I have we can actually create file-based route. So I'll create a file-based route here, and for that we have to use this. We have to create a route for all the folders or all the route which we want. We could actually create this. So first would be the path, okay, and the second would be the component and everything. So we have to create our component here. I'll actually do this. This will be index. I'll just name it as index, okay, and I'll return index page. What happened? Okay, yeah, this is it. So my index page is done. Let's see how it works. Yes, we are now able to see this. Okay, so actually now what happened is we can actually remove this. We don't need this now because my route is handled with this. So I'll just remove this. No, sorry, I have it here, right? I have app here. Okay, so now let's leave that. We will take care of everything here. Okay, so on the first page we will maybe display the list. First, let's not do that. Let's do something which is let's create another, maybe a page which will be for, or maybe I can add that over here only. I'll add a modal where we can just create a name and we can create a link for that. So that is, let's add a modal. Add dialog. We need this. We need this. On dev. And now let's do here. Let's add a button. Let's create a component. I'll maybe add a shared folder. Okay. Inside this shared, I will create a create room model.jsx. Perfect. Okay. I also need Axios for making my API calls. So let's add that also. Also, we need socket.io hyphen client to have all the socket connections and everything. So let's we will add that. Before doing anything, I think we should test our socket first, and then we can go ahead and create all of these things. So now let's do one thing. I'll just add one common thing. Simple. I need my use effect. I need this socket. So socket is actually defined. I just need to go there and import. Add import, yes, with all imports. Why does this not working? No problem. I'll just import it directly. First is join room. Okay, and we actually not doing any on. We are emitting the value, and this will be like test123. Room ID would be test123, but this event would be join room. That's it. That's what we want here. And also socket.on, we want to get the values, right? Whatever the value is changed. So that was for code change, and here we will get new content, which we will set to set content like this. So we got this, we got that. Okay, now set content, it will be value, and then I have to emit that as well. So socket.emit, this will be, oh sorry, this will not be that. I think this will be update code, which I have to use here, and code change would be used for sending the value to the server. Okay, this will be used up here. And if you remember, we have an ID of room ID. I mean, first thing we want to send it as room ID, that will be this string, and then we need to send content, where we will send this as the value from there. Okay, so I think this is okay. Let's go let's go and check. So user have joined this room. Okay, perfect. We have got that. Now let's type anything. This works, I guess. Let's see some error we have received. Okay. That was for event name. Let's refresh once. Yeah, no error. That was from earlier. And let's see if we have any logs. We don't have any logs on server, but let's add one log here. So code change console log. So log. Mm, 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 mm. Content updated in room ID. I cannot log all the content because it will be a lot of things there. So let's not do that. If I change anything, yes, content updated in this room. Perfect. So now let's add, open a new tab. Open a new tab. Maybe I'll just do one thing. I'll just move from full screen. Let's open this. Sorry. Okay. I'll make this a bit small. Keep it here. Okay. Not working. So we have both, right? Let's see why this not working. Yeah, now it is working fine. So whatever I'm writing, I am able to see that in the new tab. So this is working fine. So we are able to make the connection. We are able to send this. Okay. So now let's add the room functionality and all those. So let's do that. So I'll just close that. Just move it. I'll just refresh. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So this is, I think, perfect. We are okay. We are good now. So let's take all this. Let's take all this, and we will maybe we'll create another component and we'll use that there only. Uh, let's add a functionality to add a new room, right? Let's Axios instance. We'll create an Axios instance. $4,200. And we'll give this as content type, and it will be application JSON. For default, it will be like this. We don't need any we don't need to add any interceptor or anything, so we'll just keep this as simple. Perfect. So we have our end address and everything ready. Now let's create the adding a room functionality. Let's remove all this from here. Let's create a new route maybe, and I will actually I want to interview, and we will actually get an ID, right? So this is a convention for setting up a new route for any ID. This is how we can do that. Now again we have to create the route, and this will be create file route. We need to pass the path, and path would be the ID. So interview slash ID. Okay, interview and slash, then we will have the ID. Perfect. So path we have already given. I think in this we will create our function. This will be the component, and what we can do is we can actually get this get the APIs also, API data also from there, but we will take care of that in some time. Let's first do all these things. Let's first take all these things and use it here, because we are gonna handle the socket changes in here only, so we will use it here directly. Okay, just do this import. Okay, fine. So this is good. This is good. Let's come up here, add a button. This will be for create room. Okay, so this button will actually open a new modal where we have our component. So create modal room. Let's go to ShadCN documentation. Let's take a dialog example. Here we have. Perfect. So we have it. Let's just copy that, and now let's just do this. Create room model. This is what we want. Okay, so we already have this separated. Create room. This will be for create room. We don't need any description, so we just remove this. We need name. Yes, we need name. This default value we don't need. We need placeholder. Placeholder would be enter room name. Okay, and other input we don't need, so we'll just remove this. We don't need that button. Let's add this to state string set name. Okay, and also add an handle name change event. Value we will destructure as always. Set name, there we will keep our name. So name is there set. I can remove the ID. Oh sorry, we need this for this label, so that is why. Pass the value would be name, and then we have to add our on change handler name change. Perfect. I think this is okay. This is okay. Submit. So we need to create our API call. Now let's come up and let's do one thing. Let's add an open functionality from here because uh, we need to do this uh, only because we have to take care of the save changes, and we need to toggle it. So that is why we will do this like here is open and on close. So this will be handled by this. I will just remove this. I don't need that now. And also on open change, I will use on close function. So when my save change is done, I'll just use this function to close this. Now add an handle submit. Handle submit. Here what I want to do is I want to use that Axios instance and I want to make my API call. So I'll do that now. My URL would be slash interview. Okay, and I think I don't need much more thing here. So let's make this as async await Axios instance. Okay, and here it will be dot post URL. I already have my base URL set up, so I don't need to pass all of this. I just need to pass the extended URL, like whatever API route I need to go to. So I'll just pass that, and Axios instance will take care of all the other things. And now I need to pass the data. So data would be name, where I just have to pass name. Yeah, I think this is good. I have this name as name, and I have this request.body.name will be provided by this. So this will be okay. I will just wrap it inside try catch block. So once this is done, let's destructure and I'll get status. So if status is 201, it should be 201. I need to update the API as well because we are creating any data. So when we create any data, we need to use 201 as the status code. Okay. So this was also not correct. So I've updated it. And once this is done, I'll just call the on close and nothing else I am doing here. Perfect. Log it. Log the error. Simple. No need to worry about any other thing. I'll just pass this. Perfect. I think this is good. I will now use this function. I'll maintain a state over here. False is create model open, set create model open, model create model, set create model open. We will take previous state and we'll just reverse that previous state. Okay, so we'll just reverse that previous state and we'll not do anything else. On click, we will have this, and here we have to send on open, so is create open, and also we have to send on close, so we will actually can pass this function because this when it is false, it will turn this turn it to true. If it is true, it will turn it to false. So we will be able to handle it in the single function. So that is why I have created it like this. Okay, so now we don't need this here. We don't need use effect. Just tidy up the imports. Now let's go to app. Okay, so we have this. If I create this, yes, I am able to get this. Okay, so let's create any room. Let's say Ghazi interview. And if I save, what happened? Is there any error? No error, I guess. I do this again. Go to fetch post. Oh, sorry. I haven't made the change in post uh, API for 201. I have the 201 in my check over here in the API where I'm calling the API, but on my actual API I have 200. So that is what I have to update. This should actually be 201. And if I see the MongoDB, if I just see MongoDB, I just refresh this. So I have this, right? I have my room ID. So all these are done. So two records are created. So this is perfect. I'll just remove this so that I can actually create it again, and we can see that in action. So let's go back to my okay, yeah. So let's okay. Razi interview, perfect. And I think I have again the data in the database. Yes, it is saved, and I have got the room ID. So this is generated by crypto. This will be unique every time, so I don't have to worry about that. And now what I'll do is I'll actually fetch all the list of interviews, right? So let's go to Tanstack router. They have a very good function where we can actually call the API data from on load, and we can actually do pass it as a prop. So that is a good option here. So yeah, this loader. So we could actually use this. So let's do that. And okay, loader. And how I can get that in the component? I just need to check. That should come up as okay. How can I use that in the component? Just need to check. So this is for error component. What about success? Yeah, I can return it like this, and then I can use that in my component. Let's see. And stack data loader. Okay. So somebody might have done something, so we can actually take it. Okay, so this is the route. Perfect. Call the API here. I've called the API. Get Pokemon router use loader data. Okay, so this is the hook which we can actually call. Okay, perfect. So we can call that. Let's create a service common, and let's create a services folder inside. I'll just create index. I don't have a lot of APIs, so I'll keep it like this. Export const get all interviews. This will be an async function. Await .js instance, and that will be get function. And again, it will be interview because we have that in interview status and data. We will get status equals 200. return the data. If we have any error, we will just return a blank array for now. And we'll log. So perfect. I think this is good. This is good. Loader. Here we will call this. Okay. I should I give only the reference, or should I actually call that async? And okay, I need to get that as async. Yeah. So this is okay. So I have the route. I can get the data. Right. Use loader data. Why I'm doing this? Why I'm doing this? So whenever my route is called, like this route is called, this will prefetch the data. So I don't have to use any use effect or anything. It will do all those internally. I'll get the data in my component directly. So that is why I'm doing it like this. Let's see if I get. So just to confirm, yeah, I've done this correctly. Let's just see the console. Very nice. I'm getting undefined. So let's call again. Yep, I have the data. Again I refresh. Again I refresh. Perfect. Yes, I've got the data. Let's create some other John interview and save. Okay, so on creating any new data, it is not actually fetching again. So for that case, can I make it call again the data? Can I make it that? Should reload, should reload. I will do this. This actually, this is how we can actually navigate in this with time stack router. So what I'm doing is I'm actually navigating that back so that can it can call the loader. Yes, this have called the loader again, and I have got the updated thing. So okay, so this hack works. So let's do this for now. Okay, let's do that for now, because this is a very small app, and I'm not very I mean I'm not worrying about the uh, performance and all. So I wanted to show you, like show you this kind of behavior. So if we have created another page, so here like it is from the model, so that is why we are not getting the updated data. But if you use a React query or a Redux toolkit, we can invalidate the tag, and it will automatically fetch the correct data. So as we have not used those in this application, that is why we have to do some hack. But in the production grade application, we obviously have some Redux toolkit or React query. So it will be easy in that way. Okay. So okay, I'll just actually do this. I'll grab this. Oh, okay. That is not working. I maybe need to give this in here. And that will be, yes, this worked. Perfect. So I have this and this. Let's now load the list of display the list of all the interviews. Okay, so I'll just add a div. Div I don't need this. All interviews. Yeah, that is map. Sometimes we might get into undefined, so that is why I have kept it like that. I don't need these over here. Interview, and inside that just create a div. This will have key of interview dot underscore id. Okay, and I'll just have to display a title and a link. I think that is it. That is it. Let's display that. Room name and give a button link we will get from this, and join room or join interview, not href. It will be kind of this. So this will be interview and id colon dollar id would be this, and interview dot room id, because we are taking it to the room id. Let's see now. Yes, perfect. Let's just beautify this a bit, and then we will go ahead. First uh let's one thing. I'll just wrap it inside this. I'll give this as a class of grid, and it will have a gap of 5. The first thing, it will have all gaps from all the sides. Now it will have internal padding of padding 5. Okay, background is good. Let's add a border and also add a shadow. Perfect. Perfect. Let's add this margin from top and bottom of 10, and here I'll add a rounded. Nice. Let's give this as a class of font size to Excel. Can I give this class? Yes, I can. So I will make it as a button. Okay, so first I'll give it as background primary. Okay, text would be primary foreground. Let's see how does it look. Yes, okay, very nice. Now I will give this padding from y of 2 and padding from x of 5. Nice. And this will also have a slight rounded and a shadow of MD. Perfect. Now this will have a margin of bottom. Nice. 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 Okay, good. Let's do one more thing. Let's align this as center and like this way. And justify between. Also, when on small screen, it will just wrap around. It will come up beneath this. So, okay. Perfect. Perfect. Why is this not line? Okay. So it has a default padding, board margin from. Oh, now I have added already. So I can just remove this. Yeah. Okay. This is good. So I can actually go there. I have this. Okay. So I have the ID, interview ID we have already assigned. So this is perfect. Now, now let's add a Monaco editor first. Okay. Let's add an Monaco editor. I will actually also go to my repository first. Let's go to code snippet. This in this application we have I have created a Next.js app to share code snippet and all. So I'll take the same thing. Like this will be the library which we will be using. Stop it. Install. Okay. And also I need a configuration of all those. So I'll just take the component from there directly and I can use it. So that is why I have opened my repository and dev. Come up here, src components shared, and I think where it is, code editor. Perfect. I have my code editor. I'll just copy it and I'll paste it here and make some changes. Code editor.jsx, because of it is from Next.js. It was used in Next.js, so I have to update it a bit. I have types because it was a TypeScript project there. So yeah. Okay. So this is perfect. So I have all these. The default languages I have as JavaScript. Perfect. I also have created a language selector in that. So let's copy all those because I don't want to write all of this again. So let's just add that. Language selector.jsx and just import it. Also again remove use client, remove this type, this type, this type, this type. I have to remove types from a lot of places now. Okay, I think I have to now install these popover and command. So let's add that also. TLX. I'll just select it from there. Popover, popover, and command. Okay, I have this. Okay, perfect. All of this is now working fine. And again, I have a language filter. What is this? Okay, so this is not required. Now come to my code editor. Let's go to that interview page. Interview ID is JSX. Perfect. This is it. Ah. So first thing is we need to get the room ID. So I can get the ID from route dot use params, and from I think I can pass the name, or maybe I can, the best thing is I can check the documentation, and I should actually check the documentation. That tutorial, yeah, this blog actually has that, right? Here we have already. Let's use it. Simple. I got the ID. I'll just pass this ID here. Okay. So I don't have to worry about this. Now I need to fetch the data for this as well, right? So let's add a service for it. We already have an API for this, so we'll use that. Get interview by ID async. This will be ID. Again, I'll have try catch. I'll just return a blank object for this. XJS instance. Okay, so now I'll just remove this and now we'll just pass the value. Perfect. Loader. I need to check how I can fetch the ID of. Okay, I can actually get the ID here. So I will have params, and inside this I can pass params dot ID. So I got the ID, and I need to actually concatenate that, right? Params dot ID. My route is defined as ID, so I think it is good. Interview would be route dot use loader data. Okay, I'll just now log this. Not a function. And let's see the console. I need to run the server. Bad response. Okay. Oh, sorry. This is not an object ID, right? I need to update the API. This is not an object ID. We are actually getting that from the room ID. So we have to make our query accordingly. Let's go here. Let's come up here. Nice. Right. Okay. And this will be find one. And now this will be of room ID would be the ID. Yeah. Room ID would be the ID. Perfect. Now if I go go back, and if I load, I got the data. Perfect. So now let's use all these information, and we'll go ahead. I think it should also have connected with the correct room ID. Yes. So I am actually connected with the room ID. So now if I open this in a new incognito, I'll just close all this, and I'll close this as well. Okay. And I open a new incognito mode. Let's call this nice. So I should now get another joining. The new user has joined. Okay, so this user was different, this user is different, and I have this. Perfect. Perfect. So if I so this is not working actually. Okay. So that that is actually we have to update. So when we are sending the data, we have not updated that. So that is why it was taking it to test 123, which is not used as of now. So we have to update that. Uh, mm, 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 mm. Update code. This is the room ID where we have to update. So this will be the room ID. Or maybe I should actually rename this. No, this should be room ID to avoid any confusion. This will be the good uh, good option. So room ID, it will take it directly from here, and here we have passed the room ID. Let's now see. So we have a connection. We pass it. Yes, perfect. So nice. Okay, so this is nice. This is working great. Okay, so now let's make some modifications in our UI. Remove this, we don't need that now. Come up here and let's remove all these. H1, this will be the title of the interview, so I'll name it as interview.name. Perfect. Also now I'll also give user to select the language which they want to write the code on. So I'll maybe add a language selector, and then I have my code editor. On change will be handled by handle change event. Let's see. We will get the value directly, so that is not an issue. That is perfect. Also we have value, and which we will send the content in the value. We get the value and we are displaying it. Perfect. So I think this is good. This is good. On language selector, we have all these selected language and everything, and we are sending on change we are sending the current value. So here we have to maybe handle that as well. JavaScript, and let's go here. If I am sending that, set selected language. Okay, JavaScript, and I set selected language. Perfect. And also on change, I'm getting the value. I'll take that, I'll set it. So here I'll get the language. I'll just update that again, and on value I'll just send the selected language. So this is it. Okay, but this is not a good way this is not a good way, because it will actually, this hampers the performance by this will create multiple references of this function in the memory. So that is not a good value, so a uh, good way of handling that. So let's add a new function, and we'll pass a language reference, which will be only which will be like only assigned to created once. It will not create multiple reference of this folder, this function. So that is why we'll use it like this. Okay, and I think I have to send here also selected language. Perfect. Let's see how does it look. Nice. I think I should give this a bit of classes, CSS classes. I'll add it like this, simple. Yeah, so I'm not getting the title. Yes, we will not get the title because we are using a wrong reference name for field. Now I got that. Perfect. Let's take the class name and make it a big bit, font bold. Perfect. Yes, this is now cool. So what was the use case? So let's say I'm taking an interview. What I do is mostly when I'm actually taking an interview. So what I do is we are on a Zoom call and or a Google Meet call, and I want to check how the interview or interviewee or the candidate is writing the code, how he is in actual writing the code. So let's say I gave him a function. I just have typed here that write logic, and let's say I have write logic for getting sum of two values. Ah, okay, I think I need to refresh once. Why does it not changing? User connected. Okay, one user only. It's not sending up. I think your event is not getting sent. I think here's some issue we have. Let's see. Okay. I should check this. There I am actually getting up the value and not the event.target.value. So I can actually remove this and can remove this as well. So this might be the error there. So let's refresh once again. Okay, now if I see, now it is running. So let's say I have given a sample sample problem to the user. Write a sum of two number, and then I just have stopped. Now candidate will write, let's say he writes function sum. Okay, he writes it, and I am getting the correct I'm getting the exact reference point and exact like how what is being done there. So I can actually see in the live uh, changes, right? So I can see that those live changes. I don't have to ask a user to share the share video, because many a times there are problem when we share video, our call gets stuck, and it because we are already on a video call, and then when we share a video screen, so it it has a lot of times we have faced this issue. Like I have personally faced this issue when I'm taking an interview. So that is why this came up in my mind. Like we could have a live editor where I could just see like whatever he's doing, and I can actually when he's writing the function, I could actually go ahead and write another function, like write another problem, and this will be taken care of next. So once that is done, it will be taken care of next, and I can actually see what is the progress. So I am here able to see whatever is changing, right? So let's see, let's say I need to write a code, or maybe I am, let's write that socket socket use effect, socket hook actually. So how we done that? So if I'm writing this use socket, okay, so this is how I'll do that. Okay, so this is the property which we are taking, and callback. Then again I have my use effect. Okay, this was it. And see, I'm getting all the regular updates here, right? I'm getting all the updates here. I don't have to worry about this. So all the updates are coming up correctly. And now if I write socket.connect, that is also working perfectly. Socket.disconnect, this is also working fine. So I am able to write, I'm able to do whatever I want to. Okay, so now what I think we have achieved what we wanted. We have created our live code editor for an interview. We have created our interviews, and then we have navigated to a separate interview window where we can share our code on live, where we can share our code live. So now I have a task for you, where you can, when a user changes this language, so it should reflect here also. It should reflect here also, like whatever language is selected. So that is what you guys need to do. And the second is, when a user, when any of this user is disconnected, we need to save the data, whatever data we have received till now, to the database. Because if we write every time whatever we are writing here, and if we write this every time, it will be a problem. You know, that will be a problem, because that will increase the database query a lot of by a lot. So you need to figure out how you could do that while disconnecting. So when the user is disconnected, you can do that. Or if you not want to do that on disconnect and you want to get that update, so you can maybe use Redis, or you can use a normal JavaScript object for the local reference for this kind of application. But I mean, for this application, for the very simple application, and you can maybe do that. So if you actually do these updates, do share do share your GitHub repository with me on this video's comment, and I'll review that, and maybe we can learn together. In this video, I also have learned one thing, like how to implement the loader functionality in the TANstack router. That I have learned. Also, I have fixed. I have also done this improvement while coding as well. While doing this only, like I have done this improvement. This I have never done earlier. So I have also done this improvement. So you can refer this to once. Like earlier in the initial part of the video, we have created two separate listen where we have which we have improved, and we have updated it to one, and we have one server which is running both our API and our socket server. So I think this is pretty much up. This actually solves a lot of things here we have learned. So just to recap, we have learned how we can create an express app, how we can use middlewares in Express, how we can create an API, okay, how we can create our database connection, and also how we can create our socket. Again, then we have our modular setup where we have created a schema, route, and controller all in one, all in the separate module for that particular module. We have implemented that in UI. We have made the connection in socket. We have used Tanstack router. We have used ShadCN components. We have used Monaco Editor, which I have not explained completely in this, but you can refer my other video where I have completely explained how to integrate that editor in the React or Next.js application. That was in Next.js application, but you can easily integrate that in React. It is a very small change which we have to do with in React and Next. It is just that we have to remove the use client directive, and then it will be a normal React component. So that's all we have covered, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like, share, and comment, and share it with your colleagues and friends, and do let me know your thoughts on the comment. See you in the next video. Bye.